Well, it's Pam Shriver with Martina Navratilova, my doubles partner of 10 years. And on Monday, we're celebrating International Women's Day. And the theme this year is challenging bias and stereotypes against gender inequity. And Martina, you really are an expert in this whole area. Just what are your thoughts about the day?
International Women's Day has always been a big thing in the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, and we always celebrated women in a big way. And I'm glad that we are getting the recognition. We have come such a long way, as to quote our slogan from Virginia Slims, we've come a long way, baby, but we still have a long way to go. It still is more difficult for women to make ends meet. They're still not getting paid the same with the pandemic. The numbers of women that have been let go is much higher than men. They're also in lower paying jobs. I honestly don't know how women manage to take care of their family themselves and have a job. So the pandemic has exposed that. On the women's tour side, you see the men tour has many more tournaments than the women. It's just easier for guys to get sponsorship and the support, financial support. It's easier when men lose money in a tournament. They can justify it. They'll get somebody else to come in next year. For women, we have to earn our keep. And as you know, it's always been much more difficult for us to get those sponsors. So the pandemic has, I think, exposed this inequality. So again, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. But we're going the right direction. So that's good.
How do you feel your experiences have paved the way for today's players to make it easier for them?
You know, I had to leave my country, right, to play tennis. And so that was like the most pressure decision of my life. So after that, everything was a lot easier. And I think the one thing that I would like to impart to the players, I feel especially the women, but the guys, you feel it too. They feel like so much pressure when they're playing in their matches. And you're playing a sport for a living. So just relax and enjoy it, because there was a lot more pressure on us. But we loved playing the sport of tennis. We loved competing, and we didn't validate ourselves according to whether we lost or won the match. And I just would like to kind of put that out there for them, so that they can appreciate what they have and enjoy what they have, rather than feeling, so many times I feel like they're relieved that the match is over. And I don't want that to be there. I never felt that myself. So again, that's the advice that I would say.
So for the current generation of players in this complicated time, and also looking ahead to when it's not so complicated, just quickly, what do you feel about this current generation? There's a lot of talent there.
On the women's side, on the American women's side, wow, you know, we have some fantastic possibilities. But overall, women's tennis is definitely undergoing a generational switch, with Naomi Osaka taking charge really this last year, and Iga Swiatek winning the French Open, Bianca Andreescu. I mean, we definitely have a infusion of new blood, and with Serena Williams still playing, Venus Williams still competing. It's the generations are all still there, but the new one is definitely now pushing the older generation out, and the possibilities are endless. I love the way tennis is so much more international than it was in our time. Players get to experience many more different countries and cultures, etc., and spread the love of the game to more places. So we're in such a great place now. I love the fact that the players can connect with the fans directly. We never had that opportunity. I rue that. I wish we had Twitter and Instagram back in our day. You know, I think the people would have connected with us on a different level. So I'm so happy that the players have that possibility, and they're using it pretty well. And the possibilities are just endless. But again, being women, we still have a much harder task at getting the sponsors and getting the recognition, getting the airtime, getting the leading story on the sports news. When do they lead with women tennis players rather than men tennis players? Pretty much only when either Naomi Osaka wins a major or Serena Williams wins a major. So it's still a battle, but we're definitely going the right direction.
So last question is just when you think about what's coming up on Monday, International Women's Day, and I know you spoke about some of it at the beginning, but it's a big day, and we are the leading sport for women around the world for decades. So let's hear some of your inspiration before we
go. Well, the best part perhaps growing up in a communist country was that women athletes were just as cherished as male athletes. International Women's Day, 8th of March, was always a big deal. Men bought flowers for their wives and their moms, and it was really a big deal. And I love the fact that it's becoming a bigger deal here in the West. But I would like to see more of cherishing the women throughout the year, not just on the 8th of March. But it's great to see that recognition. And women, I just want to give them the strength to speak up, to hold their ground, to follow their dreams, to not let people put them down. Do not ever think you're less than a man because you're a woman. Do not ever think you're less than somebody else because of whatever reason. They're prettier or they're taller or they're richer. It has nothing to do with who you are on the inside. So I just want to inspire women to go for their dreams. If you want to play tennis, great. If not, that's okay. If you want to get into art, great. If you want to travel the world and show your kids around, if you have that opportunity, do it. You only regret the things you don't do. So, follow your dreams and don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. And most of all, believe in yourself because women are amazing.